A short while ago, I guess about an hour, a little bit longer ago, there was a gust of 101 miles per hour. Another squall coming in, the eye wall down in here, and that's where the strongest wind gusts will occur. Some of these bands farther to the north, back over towards Chandler Islands and over toward Lake Bourne, heading essentially from easterly to westerly direction. But if you look at the surface winds, you have more of a northeasterly wind component. So that's just telling us there's a lot of spin in the atmosphere. So there's also that risk of tornadoes with some of these bands, which are just east of New Orleans, rapidly moving back over toward the west. So tornado threat also. Let's take a look at the big picture out there. Here's the information as of 1 a.m. Central Daylight from the Hurricane Center. Since this time, it has moved a little bit closer, and as I was pointing out a little bit ago, that it is actually not too far away from landfall, but there's something else that we want to share with you here. Look at the imagery right here. Then all of a sudden, the western side there, it appears that a trough of low pressure may have eroded a little bit to the western side of this hurricane. Also, it has made more of a turn. If you look at the satellite imagery here, it was on that northwesterly course. It does appear to be going through that west-northwest, now just to the northerly direction. So it has made more of a curve, and that's going to take it up toward Plaquemines Parish, probably over to the east of Grand Isle, and Southwest Pass. This area right in through here may just move just barely off to the west. So at this point, if it continues to the north, it'll probably stay a little bit over to the east of New Orleans. Again, the radar imagery here, this is the eye wall right in this area here. That's where the strongest winds will be felt. And then you have just a series of bands getting heavier and heavier as you get closer to the eye of the hurricane. Some of these other bands here, if you notice, it looks a lot more cellular, where you can see a little blob here and there. It's a couple of those bands. Those are the ones near the Mississippi-Alabama coast. Those are the ones that are racing from the east to the west. Those are the bands right there that have that threat of producing the tornadoes. But again, we have that threat also of looking at that storm surge and the wave action. We're looking at some of the reports earlier from the buoys, which are offshore, and wave heights, last check, a little bit over to the south of Dauphin Island by about 75 miles. Wave heights now have built up to 40 feet, so the waves definitely increasing. So this is a huge concern to us with the water level rise. 20-25 feet, coast Mississippi, southeast Louisiana, Lake Pontchartrain, then a little bit farther to the east. Not as high as a water level rise, but also the wave action actually could be higher farther to the east. So especially northwest Florida, then back over to southeast coast of Louisiana, water rise, primary concern, also with the wind damage. Bottom line, we have seen Katrina remaining extremely dangerous, Category 5 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Conditions now deteriorating. That will continue as we head right through the mid-morning hours. It may make landfall. Next 2 or 3 hours, it gets close to southeastern Louisiana. Once again, here's Bob and here's Warren.
Interesting to see some of that deterioration in the western part of Katrina. Hopefully that will continue. Stay here at the Weather Channel for complete storm alert coverage of Hurricane Katrina.
We're already seeing the effects of Hurricane Katrina around New Orleans. We've got updates for the rest of the night and on into the day, Monday. This is Hurricane Central at the Weather Channel. Let's get your local forecast on the air.
We're so sure you'll love the DR Field and Brush Mower. We'll send you one to try out on your property for 6 months risk-free. If you don't agree that the DR is the easiest handling, hardest working field mower you've ever used, we'll take it back and we'll even pay for shipping both ways. Try out a DR Field and Brush Mower for 6 months risk-free. Call 1-800-351-9797 for further details or visit us online at drfieldbrush.com.
For good health, I like to stay in shape.
And speaking of shapes, check out the shape of our Craftmatic adjustable bed.
Actually, if you're not in such great shape and suffer from any of these painful health problems, a Craftmatic bed with optional heat and massage may provide temporary relief.
Even to the not-so-physically fit among us. Affordable? You bet.
Our Craftmatic Model 2 cost up to 56% less than all these quality flat beds. No kidding, up to 56% less.
If you're concerned about the shape you're in, call toll-free and get this free Craftmatic catalog by mail.
You'll also receive this special $200 off rebate certificate, good for $200 off the Craftmatic Model 1 bed of your choice. To receive everything free,
Call toll-free. There's absolutely no obligation.
Call toll-free 1-800-232-3999. That's 1-800-232-3999 toll-free. 1-800-232-3999.
Bringing weather to life.
And huge lines of people attempt to seek shelter in the New Orleans Superdome. These are not the ones who could not manage to leave a city that could be flooded by the approaching hurricane. And good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kim Perez.
And I'm Nick Walker. The Weather Channel is in storm alert for the latest on a hurricane of historic proportions.
Let's go ahead and show you the latest advisory now just in from the National Hurricane Center. The Air Force hurricane hunters out there investigating found the pressure has come up to 917 millibars. The winds have come down to 150 miles per hour. But again, this is still a very strong Category 4 hurricane. It's also picked up in forward speed and made that turn towards the north now, moving north at 15 miles per hour.
The impacts from Katrina are going to be widespread, affecting not only the immediate coastal area, but also far inland. For travelers, this is going to be a concern for some time.
And Jen Carfagno is here to talk about some of the other problems we might have. Hey, Jen, good morning.
Okay, good morning. We're going to watch the rain and the wind extend pretty far north. You've been talking about how far the tropical storm force winds extend, and it's hundreds of miles. I want to talk about the rain threat for folks on the roads as you travel throughout, not just today, but throughout midweek. Now, of course, the heaviest of rainfall will be in southeastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and southwestern Alabama. But we're going to continue to watch the threat of rain for travelers and for folks there just with your homes as we continue through today, moving north into northern Mississippi and northern parts of Alabama and into Tennessee, and then shifting into the Ohio Valley and eventually into the Northeast. We'll continue to track this and the threat for heavy rain and flooding, but we want to get continual coverage of the impacts as it makes landfall.
Yeah, all right, Jen, thanks.
Of course, we have crews throughout the area that will bear the brunt of Katrina's wrath.
Meteorologist Jeff Morrow is in Louisiana. He is in Mandeville on the northern edge of Lake Pontchartrain. Now, overnight, he updated us on the push by New Orleans to prepare for this very powerful hurricane.
Extremely powerful and extremely dangerous. Hurricane Katrina draws ever closer to the southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi Gulf coastal areas. Potentially, this hurricane could be and probably will be catastrophic. A lot of wind damage, a lot of storm surge, which potentially could push Lake Pontchartrain over its levees and then spill into New Orleans. That is probably the greatest fear of the people of New Orleans at this hour. A lot of them chose to evacuate, not only when the evacuations were voluntary as we headed through the day Saturday, but then when they became mandatory during the day on Sunday. Some folks couldn't get out, and they are going to some shelters around the city, most notably the Louisiana Superdome, which started as a special needs shelter, but turned out to be an area that just about everybody wanted to head to try to get out of the way of this very, very dangerous Category 5 hurricane. Here on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, we feel like we're a bit more on the safe side of the system. We're going to pull back a little bit overnight, but we will be here to report as we head into the day Monday on the conditions here as Hurricane Katrina comes on shore. I'm Jeff Morrow in Mandeville, Louisiana.
And those live reports will start at 6 o'clock Eastern time this morning. I'll show you the projected path where, again, making landfall. It's imminent right now. The northern eye wall coming into parts of southeastern Louisiana now. It should stay north on a track and then more northeasterly with time because of an upper level trough coming in from the west. And that's going to take it right through the Ohio Valley Tuesday. So you guys, while we need the rainfall, we may get too much of a good thing. Be prepared for some flooding and, of course, some power outages along the path of this hurricane. Let's show you our radar now where you can see where the eye is and how it's moving up towards the north now. And again, some of that heavy rain coming in to New Orleans. Not reporting anymore at the airport, but around Grand Isle, which is about right in this area here, we've had a wind gust over 90 miles per hour. As you can see, there's that northern eye wall. And eventually, it will move over southeastern Louisiana back into the Gulf, and then a second landfall expected into Mississippi. So the worst of it is yet to come. You think it's bad now. It is going to get worse. Think of this as like an F3 tornado coming through your area. All right, and speaking of that, we do have the potential for tornadoes with some of these rain bands as well. So winds 150 miles per hour around the center, but hurricane force winds extend out over 100 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds over 200 miles from the center. So again, a far-reaching storm. Of course, the very heavy rain falling already, as Jen talked about, Interstate 10 closed into Louisiana today. Now, tornado watch in effect until noon. We may see more of these issued. Even farther north, maybe into Birmingham, Atlanta, there's a chance of isolated tornadoes as well today, and the wind should start to pick up for you guys. Now, by this evening, this is where it'll be. So you have plans to commute later today. Boy, it's going to be a rough one here in central Mississippi. Flooding, a huge concern as well. And there could be power outages, too, you'll be dealing with. So again, be prepared maybe to lose power. Make sure you have a flashlight handy, a radio operated radio is what I'm trying to say. And be prepared for that. And again, you don't want to use candles because of the risk of fire. Now, folks in Mobile and northward, again, there is the potential there for power outages where you see the red. It's pretty likely. Outside that area, there is a slight chance. One thing we know for sure, there will be flooding with this system. Again, Katrina weakening, but still very dangerous. Imminent landfall. It's here. Impacts will be spreading north ahead of the center. Nick?
Of course, time is running out to get out of Katrina's way, and all-night traffic has inched away from New Orleans. With the storm spinning closer to landfall, roads are closing. We'll update you coming up.
The Kia Amante. Rich leather. 9-speaker CD sound system. Power everything. Spacious and comfortable. With 8 standard airbags and all backed by a 10-year warranty program. The Kia Amante Premium Sedan. It's time for everyone to start living big.
A cool head. And a new copier. $2,500.
Dinosaur.
Dedication.
And a coffee maker. $69.
A sense of humor.
And a mop. $17. Having what it takes to run a business? Priceless. To see what the MasterCard business card can do for your business, visit our website.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
Let's go ahead and give you the very latest on Hurricane Katrina. The tornado watch in effect for New Orleans until noon today. We have a tornado warning in effect for Harrison County here in Mississippi, and it looks like it does include or real close to the Biloxi area. So you guys anywhere between Slidell and Biloxi need to take cover now. Interior room, lowest level of your home, and of course stay away from the windows.
Tornadoes often do occur from landfalling hurricanes. You're likely to hear us talk about tornado warnings throughout the morning hours. From Louisiana to Florida, coastal residents are bracing for the fury of Hurricane Katrina.
And ABC's Darren Lynn is in Mobile, Alabama. He joins us now. And Darren, what effects are you seeing right now from the storm?
We're not seeing much here in Mobile, Alabama right now. We're about 4 miles from Mobile Bay. The rain has started to come down, not very hard. The winds, barely any right now. But as you've been mentioning, Katrina has been downgraded to a Category 4. Wind speed sustained at 155 miles an hour. She's been a Category 5 much of her time in the Gulf, and believe me, folks are taking her seriously.
The mass exodus continues, bumper-to-bumper traffic. More than 1 million people fleeing the Gulf Coast, clogging the highways in all directions. In New Orleans, there's a mandatory evacuation.
You have an obligation to yourself and your family to haul ass and get out of here. And I'm telling you to get out now.
Hurricane Katrina is barreling towards what seems like its bullseye, New Orleans. The Category 5 hurricane is packing sustained winds of 160 miles per hour with wind gusts over 200 miles an hour.
We can pray very hard that the intensity will weaken.
Nearly 100,000 people in New Orleans remain in shelters because they're either too poor, too sick, or too elderly to leave.
This is my first time in a shelter, actually, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never been in one this serious before.
The Superdome has been converted into a shelter of last resort.
We are facing a storm that most of us have feared.
The National Hurricane Center says New Orleans may never be the same again if Katrina makes a direct strike as a Category 5.
We're about 120 miles east of New Orleans here in Mobile, Alabama. And if Katrina lands as a Category 4 in New Orleans, we're expected here, 120 miles away, to have wind speeds between 75 and 100 miles an hour, storm surges possibly as high as 15 feet, and almost 15 inches of rain are expected. I'm Darren Lynn reporting live for the Weather Channel. Now back to you.
All right, thanks, Darren.
As Darren mentioned, it's widespread effects of hurricane force winds. As a matter of fact, we're already seeing hurricane force wind gusts in the New Orleans area, despite the fact that the eye wall is still over an hour away.
That's right. And you know, the airport closed early yesterday, Jen. You anticipate any other closures outside of the Gulf Coast today?
The airport to watch, I think, would be Jackson, Mississippi. Okay. The potential for closures as the track of Katrina continues to take it northward. We will see tropical storm and potentially hurricane force winds in that region. So let's show you which airports we do have closed right now. Of course, travel is impossible into New Orleans. It's unneeded. It's unnecessary. New Orleans International is closed. The airport there, the Gulfport Biloxi Airport is closed, and the Mobile Airport is closed as well. Both airports actually in the Mobile area. Now, Jackson, Mississippi today, keeping tabs on that. Birmingham, watching for delays and cancellations likely. And then later today into tonight, Nashville experiencing lengthy delays and the potential for some cancellations as well. And of course, the airlines have to get their planes in the right places, and none of them are in the New Orleans area. So making sure that they can get their planes where they need to be to get folks out. Let's show you what we have going on the roads right now. I want to focus on travel. And of course, we've been talking about the widespread impacts to travel from this storm. And in fact, all along Interstate 10, where we're seeing showers continuing to move on in, even to the east of Mobile. It is going to be difficult for travel here today. And right along the coast here, we are looking at potential of flooding here all along the coast. This is areas affected by Ivan and then by Dennis just a month earlier. And now we're looking at the potential for flooding here. And there have been some mandatory evacuations in some of the low-lying areas around Cape San Blas and St. George Island. Island. So watching the rain come down, New Orleans, the winds gusting here to hurricane force and continuing to intensify. Watching the extent of the rain now up to Jackson with some rain being reported in the observation. The forecast for today, we're going to continue to watch the corridor of rain head northward, interstates 55 and 65, and in between is what we will continue to watch for the potential of difficult travel. In some cases, flooding will be likely here, especially in southwestern parts of Alabama, and then I-65 right up through the Nashville area. Northeast, we'll quickly tell you that we will have some showers here today as well. Kim and Nick.
Heavy rain, strong winds. Louisiana already seeing some of the effects of Katrina.
Waves are running high and wind is whipping them on the waterways surrounding New Orleans ahead the impact this powerful storm will have on weather for the week to come.
This program was brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Bye. See you tonight.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay, that's my foot.
I State Farm agent LaDonna Young Hansen. This is a true story.
We didn't know what kind of claim it was, because was it going to be an auto claim or a homeowner's claim?
Having one agent for all your insurance needs has its advantages.
And she handled all the paperwork?
In minutes.
She made the process totally painless.
Well, not totally. I mean,
Okay.
Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Trust us with all your insurance needs, and we'll save you some money, too. Call an agent today.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Hurricane Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. We've got meteorologists live from the scene.
There are some vicious squalls rotating around the outer bands here, and they've even prompted some tornado warnings.
Weather experts and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next.
It's going to be rough wherever this system comes in.
Find the latest travel delays, updated maps, and projected paths on weather.com. In-depth 24/7 coverage and analysis from the Weather Channel. Hurricane Central.
This is Bob. Bob is doing well. Very well indeed. That's because not long ago, with just a quick phone call, Bob realized that he could have something better in his life. And what did he get? Why, a big boost of confidence, a little more self-esteem, and a very happy missus at home. Call or go online now to get a free sample pack. Enzyte, the once daily tablet for natural male enhancement. This is Bob. Bob is looking cool. And with a call to Enzyte about natural male enhancement, Bob is living large. In a few short weeks, Bob has a big new spring of confidence. A generous swelling of pride. And the one thing every man deserves, a little well-earned respect from the neighborhood. Call or go online now to get a free sample pack of Enzyte. Enzyte, the once daily tablet for natural male enhancement.
We're going to update you on Hurricane Katrina. Still a Category 4 hurricane, winds 150 miles per hour around the center. A tornado watch in effect. New Orleans, Gulfport, Biloxi, Mobile, all in this watch until noon today. We do have a tornado warning up for folks in Harrison County here in Mississippi. That means there is a tornado, actually I think on Doppler. It's Doppler indicated. Take cover now. Interior room, lowest level of your home, and of course stay away from the windows.
We'll keep you updated, of course, on the immediate effects of Katrina, but also we want to talk about the long-term effects because over the next several days, we're going to see flooding rain well toward the north. Let's take a look at their 7-day forecast here in the Business Planner. And as we do, you'll see all of this green on the map throughout the eastern United States, from the deep south all the way up into the Ohio Valley, the eastern Great Lakes, and northward too. We're talking about an area from the Gulf Coast to the Tennessee Valley that could get 5 to 10 inches of rainfall. Especially near the Appalachians, we're going to find very heavy rainfall amounts, so some places might even see as much as 15 inches of rainfall from Katrina as it makes its way northward. If you compare this to Hurricane Camille, which we have been doing here for the last several days, you will notice and remember that Camille produced torrential rainfall amounts throughout many areas northward, and that was responsible for a large loss of life. As a matter of fact, the statistics say that 59% of the impacts, the deaths that occur from hurricanes like this occur from inland flooding. So we'll be watching for that threat on into Tuesday and even into Wednesday too, northward, where we're going to find even more rainfall. Contrast that with the sunshine toward the west, with the exception being the Pacific Northwest. We will see a few showers there, but sunshine breaking out into Wednesday by the time we get into midweek. A few scattered thunderstorms here around places like Minneapolis, over toward Milwaukee later in the day, but the heavy rain here will be from Indiana and the Ohio Valley eastward and northward. 4 to 8 inches of rain could fall in the Ohio Valley to the eastern Great Lakes Tuesday and on into Wednesday, with a few more scattered thunderstorms southward. Thursday looking much better throughout much of the country, throughout the mid-Atlantic, throughout the south, and even in areas of the Northeast, despite the fact that we'll continue to see at least a chance of a few showers there, but sunshine from the Midwest back toward the western United States. Friday looks equally as dry. Maybe a chance of an isolated thunderstorm here around the Intermountain West and some of the central Rockies. Even Denver could pick up some of that, but places like Omaha, Minneapolis, Chicago, Indianapolis, and southward too, we're going to find ourselves with pretty much sunshine as the rule. A few isolated thunderstorms there along the Gulf Coast and on into Saturday. But the East Coast looking much better by the time we get toward the weekend, so we can at least breathe that sigh of relief that we're going to have a weekend that's going to be fairly rain-free throughout much of the United States, and especially areas that are going to be flood-prone for the next few days, where we really need that drier weather, give the rivers a chance to recede, give a chance for the cleanup efforts to get going. On into Sunday, the sunshine will continue through much of the nation, the exceptions being southward into Florida, where we could see a few scattered thunderstorms, and into the upper left-hand corner of the nation, showers around the Seattle area down toward Portland and eastward too on through the Idaho Panhandle and into western Montana. That's the way the precipitation's shaping up. Let's check out the temperature story now, Kim.
And Nick, of course, we're going to talk about the path of Hurricane Katrina and what it means for temperatures. And it's going to mean some cooler conditions. But of course, it's going to be raining, so it's not like you can get out and enjoy these temperatures in the 70s. 80s for the south, 70s in the Ohio Valley. But the 90s continue here into the Central Plains. It's going to be hot. It's going to be sticky here. And back to the really hot temperatures here in the southwest, with temperatures up around 110 here in the Phoenix area. We'll start to modify those temperatures, though, as we continue to move Katrina out of the way. Temperatures in the 70s, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. That'll stick with us into Thursday. But notice the 90s here along the Gulf Coast. If you have evacuated and you're going to be coming back home, probably from New Orleans over towards Biloxi, these areas probably won't have power for quite a while. So you might want to stay where you are, because we're talking about temperatures in the 90s. I think it's going to be very hot, very humid, very uncomfortable for you folks heading back. So stay in that nice hotel, you know, with the air conditioning. We'll see the 70s here in Minneapolis, up towards Chicago back in the 80s on Saturday, while Sunday, folks enjoying Labor Day weekend in the 70s here into parts of Boston.
Well, landfall is imminent from Katrina along the Louisiana and Mississippi coastlines. We'll follow its progress.
Yes, we've got the very latest on its position and impacts next.
Today, you're a super painter with the Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller. One touch, and you control a continuous flow of paint. The innovative Power Roller. One of the ways Wagner gives you more power, because there's always something that needs painting. Wagner. Paint fast. Paint smart.
The Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller. Professional results fast.
Hey, Mr. Opportunity here. Remember me? Now, I may not be as good looking as that Accord LX, but you're really going to like what I have to say. It's Honda clearance time. Now, that means choose a beautiful coupe or sedan of your choice for a deal that'll make your head spin. Look, the final decision is yours. I'm just trying to point you in the right direction. The 2005 Honda Clearance. Now you can lease an Accord LX for $199 a month for well-qualified customers at where else? Your Honda dealer. I'm Mr. Opportunity. I'm back. I'm still knocking.
With any leak, it's the water you don't see that can cause mold, rot, and damage to the value of your home, unless you call the cleanup experts at 1-800-SERVPRO, like it never even happened.
Once, a great night's sleep was easy to catch. But now, your restless mind keeps chasing sleep away.
I've got to pay those bills. Did I call the electrician?
Introducing Lunesta, a sleep aid that can give you and your restless mind the sleep you need. Lunesta helps most people sleep all through the night and works quickly, so take it right before bed. Lunesta is non-narcotic and approved for long-term use. Of course, do not use sleep medicines for extended periods without first talking to your doctor. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active. Until you know how you'll react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Avoid taking Lunesta with alcohol. All sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness. Ready to catch a great night's sleep? Just climb into bed and leave the rest to Lunesta.
Storm alert continues here on the Weather Channel as we follow the progress of Hurricane Katrina. It is making its way toward the Louisiana shoreline as a strong Category 4 hurricane with winds in the center of 150 miles an hour. Moving toward the north at about 15 miles an hour, the central pressure at 917 millibars. Landfall is imminent, about an hour or two away from New Orleans.
And let's go ahead and show you that radar. We have a tornado watch still in effect. What the red is indicating here. Boothville here, actually getting some of the heaviest stuff right now. Grand Isle off to the west have had wind gusts over 90 miles per hour. Lakefront, by the way, up around New Orleans, we've had a gust over 85 miles per hour.
Our travel analyst Jen Carfagno has been following the travel impacts, and they are many from Hurricane Katrina.
I took a look at the flash flood guidance to see how much rain we could get to cause flooding in some of the areas where Katrina will be going. And so as we continue to look at deteriorating weather in Jackson, Birmingham, Atlanta, from Birmingham to Atlanta, anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 inches of rain per hour will cause flooding.
All right, thanks. So we'll be right back with more on Katrina.
I don't send postcards anymore. I send stories, adventures, pictures, and videos I make on my laptop from Shanghai, Bangkok, Tibet. Then I post them online from anywhere in the world. So my friends back home can take this trip too.
Start something worldly. Start anything you like with a world of software and devices that run on Windows.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
Waves of water are already washing over parking lots in the greater New Orleans area. Some of the first signs of the approach of very powerful Hurricane Katrina.
And the heavy rain and the potential power outages will cause impacts to travel far inland. Find out how far.
And deep into the night, cars crept away from the coast. The time to head to safety is shrinking. The storm's landfall is getting ever closer. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kim Perez.
And I'm Nick Walker. We are in storm alert with the latest on a potentially devastating hurricane whose effects could reach a large part of the eastern United States.
And the latest advisory has winds of 150 miles per hour around that center. Now, since yesterday, of course, this has weakened some, but it's still a Category 4 hurricane capable of causing extreme damage. It is moving north at 15. The forward speed has picked up a little bit as anticipated, and now it's on a more northerly track. The pressure has come up to 917 millibars, but to keep it in perspective, Andrew's pressure was 922 as it came ashore here in South Florida. The projected path takes it towards the north, making landfall, here in the next hour or so, and then moves it northward and then more northeastward with time in advance of an approaching trough in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And that's going to mean power outages, maybe as far north as into Tennessee, and heavy rain into the Ohio Valley.
Well, Jeff Morrow has been covering the approach of Katrina in New Orleans. He's now moved to Covington on the north side of Lake Pontchartrain. Jeff, what are you seeing right now?
All right, guys. Yeah, we just got up a little while ago to start to set up for our live shots here. What we're looking at is a lot of wind starting to come around to the northeast and really starting to blow fairly hard. The power is out, at least at our hotel, and we're seeing a lot of transformers, flashes on the horizon. So indication that we're getting a lot of, different transformers blowing out. We're getting some pretty good gusts of wind here right now, and it's going to be interesting trying to set things up. Like nobody out on the roadways at all at the present time. Let's get back to you guys.
And Jeff, of course, obviously you need to be in a safe place and stay in a safe place. Often we have to talk to you on the phone like we're doing right now as a result of gusty winds that could blow equipment around. Do you feel like you are in a safe place where you'll be able to broadcast for a little while?
Yeah, I think so. We pre-scouted this last night. We're actually in a little bit of a shopping area, and I think we'll be able to shelter everybody fairly well here. This is a pretty substantial structure, but still there's enough around here that you got to be real careful. Debris is going to start to fly into the air, I'm sure, within the next few hours, which could really cause some major problems. So we only expect to go downhill here, weather-wise, probably for the next 3, 4, 5 hours until we can get the eye past us.
And we do hope you'll stay safe. Jeff Morrow reporting live from Covington, Louisiana this morning.
All right, now it's time to take a look at some travel conditions. Jen Carfagno, I believe, is joining us now to talk about some airport problems.
Airport problems, no doubt, will be problems here for the next 24 to 48 hours.
Just want to run down the list of airport closures today. And we're, of course, going to have delays and cancellations at other airports, but there are a number of airports that are closed, and certainly this list could be expanded to some of the other regional airports farther north as Katrina continues to move inland and then northward. New Orleans, it is closed. There is no reopen time set. The Gulfport Biloxi Airport is closed at least until tomorrow morning. Mobile, both airports, they're closed and no reopen time. And at the Valparaiso Airport in Florida, it is closed until tomorrow morning. I'll have more on your travel conditions, both at the airports as well as on the roads. That's coming up in about 10 minutes. Right now, Kim has more on Katrina.
And Jen, we'll start with the bottom line first of all, because I know a lot of you have tuned in and said, you know what, it's weakening. Maybe it's not going to be as bad, but it is still a very intense hurricane, a Category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, and of course is capable of producing extreme damage, and of course the chance for tornadoes and storm surge is going to be pretty impressive here on that east side. Landfall is imminent here in southeastern Louisiana. Impacts, again, as we've been talking about, you'll feel them farther north in the next couple of days into the Ohio Valley even, and there could be power outages all the way up into Tennessee. Here it is on radar. Notice the track now making that northerly turn now, and there's Venice, and we've had reports over here in Boothville of sustained winds over 50 miles per hour. New Orleans at Lakefront, we had a wind gust over 90 miles per hour already. And of course, conditions going down rapidly in this area. And as Jeff talked about, power outages already across the region. Now, our satellite showing the west side not as impressive anymore. Some dry air trying to come in, but still, again, a Category 4 hurricane with a pressure of 917 millibars. And we are going to see structural damage with this. Here's the greatest threat for it here in the red. And then where you see the light yellow, that's indicating where we see some structural damage, as this will maintain a hurricane strength even inland. And hurricane force winds extending out over 100 miles from this. So not feeling the impacts just at the coast. Even tropical storm winds over 200 miles from the center. There's that tornado watch in effect. Again, with any landfalling system, we watch out for this threat. Watch out in Birmingham, maybe in Atlanta later on. Nick?
Harrison County under a tornado warning at this hour. We'll continue to follow the progress of Katrina as it makes landfall. Tornado warnings and tornadoes often a byproduct of landfalling hurricanes, especially those this powerful. You need to take shelter immediately around Harrison County this morning. We'll have more on Katrina as Storm Alert continues on the Weather Channel.
This program was brought to you by Office Depot, taking care of business.
This year, count on Office Depot for back-to-school supplies. For every school supply purchase, Office Depot will give 5% back to your child's local school. 5% teachers can use for the supplies they need. Office Depot. Taking care of business.
Maria Bergman's Nature Valley. Lost Horse Creek, Bitterroot Range, Montana. Where's yours? 100% natural, whole grains, delicious. Nature Valley granola bars, the energy bar nature intended.
The Kia Amante. Rich leather, 9-speaker CD sound system, power everything. Spacious and comfortable. With 8 standard airbags and all backed by a 10-year warranty program. The Kia Amante Premium Sedan. It's time for everyone to start living big.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
Here's the very latest on Hurricane Katrina, still a Category 4 hurricane, a very, very powerful hurricane. Tornado watch in effect where you see the red, that's an outline tornado watch. And of course, with any landfalling system, we have to be concerned with this. We have tornado warnings up now in Hancock County in Mississippi, as well as Harrison County, where you see the red filled in. That does include, looks like Biloxi and Gulfport this morning. As a matter of fact, we have Jim Cantore on the telephone here in Gulfport.
That's right. The storm alert coverage continues here on the Weather Channel. Jim Cantore, one of the many folks we have out covering this storm as Katrina approaches along the Mississippi coast. He joins us now on the phone from Gulfport. And Jim, what are you seeing right now?
Well, Tim and Nick, of course, it's still dark outside, and I guess the good thing is we have lights out there, so people have power. It appears as I kind of look off the distance. A lot of the big, tall water oaks that are standing are still standing, so that's good. But again, we have not gotten into even a quarter of this thing yet. So, we got a long way to go. Heavy rain, definitely prepare on losing power this morning. And, of course, those tornado warnings don't help either. It just leaves everybody uneasy. But you can hear the winds just kind of swirling through, and even around this building here. We're at the Armed Forces retirement home here in Gulfport, Mississippi. And this place is really, really built well, so we felt pretty comfortable, even though we're only a half mile from the beach. As long as we can, we're going to try and give you some shots this morning and show you this thing coming in. But certainly, we got to deal with safety issues, and if the winds are too strong, you can't even broadcast anyway. So we'll keep you posted here. So far, so good. But obviously, we have a long way to go here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Back to you.
All right, Jim Cantore, thank you very much reporting from Gulfport. Folks there, remember, of course, Hurricane Camille, and hopefully the memory's still fresh enough that they're hunkered down to safety.
That's right, and Jen Carfagno is joining us now to talk about travel conditions. And Jen, I'm sure once this is all over with, folks are going to get together and talk about some very interesting travel stories they've had with this hurricane.
It's going to be amazing, I think, what folks went to evacuate and to get to someplace safe. There's a couple in New Orleans that paid a cab driver $1,000 to drive them to the Atlanta airport so that they could get out to where they needed to be. So there's certainly going to be stories like this. Folks have done their best to get out of town and to get to where they need to go to be safe. And now this morning, there is no travel in and around southeastern Louisiana and southern Mississippi and even southwestern Alabama. I want to talk about here travel conditions at the airports, and we'll get to the roads as well. Of course, a number of airports closed, New Orleans International and the lakefront as well, Gulfport, Biloxi Airport and the Mobile Airport, both airports in the region. Now, as we head through tonight, Louisville, we're going to expect some delays, and we may see a few cancellations late tonight into tomorrow. That's when we watch conditions go downhill there. Memphis, it's throughout today. You could see possibly delays and cancellations. The winds will be gusty. You will see rain bands here. And same story in Atlanta. Best advice in all of these airports is to fly early today. Get on that early flight, get in or out of town so that you don't have to deal with the weather. Let's talk about the roads out there as well. And folks, yesterday here trying to evacuate. These are scenes on the interstates heading towards Baton Rouge. Just a sea, just a river of headlights here, and you can see traffic was not moving very quickly at times. There were times when traffic did get going, and I think this is a good sign that we saw so much out there with folks on the roads. The cars were out there. Let's talk about what we have in the forecast. I want to show you our forecast. Of course, flooding is going to be a concern, and we talked about the tornado warnings, but we also have a flash flood warning for the New Orleans area. Nobody's out there driving, so I'm not concerned about people on the roads as of yet, but it's the days to come where we are still going to be dealing with water on the roads in this area. I-55 today through the afternoon, watching for the rain to continue to move northward, and already have seen some reports of rain around Jackson, and we're going to see the rain eventually move into Tennessee. And for folks heading on Interstate 40 here into North Carolina, we are going to continue to watch the rain bands in parts of Tennessee. Now we have the latest on, I believe, the weekend forecast.
Jen, thank you very much. We're continuing to monitor, of course, the progress of Katrina. And we have Mike Seidel reporting now.
Yeah, Mike's joining us from Mobile, Alabama. Good morning, Mike. Do you still have power where you are? I know Jim said they have power over in Gulfport.
Yes, we do still have power here. Looking outside, the power is on everywhere. Of course, we're just barely into the fringe effects of Hurricane Katrina. By the way, we just heard there's a tornado warning now for Baldwin County. That's one of two counties along coastal Alabama. That's till 5:15. And all of Mobile County is under a flash flood warning until 8 o'clock this morning. So we've got some weather issues in the short term, and in the long term, more rain, stronger winds, and we probably will have some power outages.
All right, thanks, Mike, and we're going to be checking back with you, hopefully getting a live shot coming up. We'll be right back.
Keep it right here for more on Katrina.
This program was brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Take a half pound of beef, pile on mushrooms and Swiss cheese. Now that's something to yodel about. Ruby Tuesday's Alpine Swiss Burger. One of 36 famous burgers only at Ruby Tuesday. So good, it's guaranteed.
Try our to-go curbside. Just call ahead and we'll deliver your meal to your car.
Nobody knows this neighborhood better than Wendy Owens of Prudential Real Estate. Wendy's great with technology, and she's the best there is at bringing buyers and sellers together.
I've agreed to an early closing.
Professionals like Wendy Owens are why you choose Prudential Real Estate.
Buying or selling a home? Call your local Prudential Real Estate office today.
Hurricane Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. We've got meteorologists live from the scene.
There are some vicious squalls rotating around the outer bands here, and they've even prompted some tornado warnings.
Weather experts and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next.
It's going to be rough wherever this system comes in.
Find the latest travel delays, updated maps, and projected paths on weather.com. In-depth 24/7 coverage and analysis from the Weather Channel. Hurricane Central.
What do you know about computers?
My daughter definitely knows how to use a computer better than I do half the time, and she's 3.5.
Hi, I'm John Scher, CEO and founder of Video Professor. You know, I've been hearing comments like that for over 14 years now. Listen to this.
I did the Excel, and it was a lot of fun. I had a real good time. I learned a lot.
The difference? Just an hour with one of my CDs, and they're easy to use. The CD plays like a video on your computer screen. Just follow the step-by-step instruction. If you call now, I'll send you one free. You just pay a small shipping and handling. Now, the reason I'll do this is because I know that once you try my product, you'll come back to us for all your computer learning needs. You know, if you can't learn, I'll even refund your shipping and handling. So, learn a new skill in less than an hour. Try my product.
I think that's the most fun I've had learning something about the computer.
To get your free computer learning CD, you must call now. Call 1-800-359-8553.
Our coverage of Hurricane Katrina, a very powerful Category 4 hurricane, continues as the Weather Channel is in storm alert this morning.
And our hurricane expert, Dr. Steve Lyons, joins us now to give us the very latest information. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Kim. And the chips are down now. The eye wall, the northern eye wall of the circulation is making landfall on the southeastern Louisiana coastline this morning. Now, the circulation has weakened a little bit down to Category 4, but this is still a very powerful and dangerous hurricane. The pressure's still well below what Hurricane Andrew was when it made landfall, winds 150 miles per hour. Now let's look at what's going to happen here over the next several hours. First of all, there's the circulation, and it looks a little bit ragged on satellite imagery here, but don't let your guard down. This is the time when all the weather is going to start changing very, very rapidly. We just got a wind gust to 74 miles per hour in New Orleans. So expect the power to start to go out there. Down here in Grand Isle, Louisiana, the winds are really strengthening rather rapidly there. Now what's going to happen here, here's the radar imagery. You can see there's the eye wall right in here, coming right near Venice, Louisiana. The eye is still offshore. It's going to continue to the north. It looks like it's going to move just to the east of New Orleans, Louisiana. That means the northerly winds near the eye wall in about 5 or 6 hours will be right over Lake Pontchartrain, pushing the water to the south toward New Orleans. We'll have to see what happens there. In the meantime, the right quadrant of the circulation is heading toward Biloxi, Mississippi, and that's going to get there in about 6 or 7 hours. So the circulation is very intense. The chips are down now, and very strong winds are starting to pile up. The water's going to be rising very quickly here, so if you're in a low-lying area, now's the time to go to higher ground immediately. In the meantime, very heavy rain in here, and mixed in there are some tornado warnings. So watch out for the possibility for tornadoes the next 12 hours or so. Locally, 16 to 22 feet in this area, that's the possibility for water rise. Lower as you go to the east, away from that strong wind core, but high waves are out in this area, so watch out for deadly rip currents and extremely high waves, beach erosion along the coastline, the highest wave action being in Alabama and extreme western Florida panhandle. That's going to persist through late this afternoon. The greatest potential impact for structure damage from this, southeastern Louisiana up into southern Mississippi over the next 6 to 12 hours. Power outages, trees down, signs down, roofs blown off. That's quite a possibility, especially for poorly built structures. Mobile homes could be severely damaged or destroyed if they're out in the middle of this core of strong winds that comes on shore. So this is the time to really hunker down. If you're in a mobile home, you need to seek safer shelter immediately. Now, not only that, we're going to see the widespread power outages. A lot of the places already are seeing it with the transformers blowing out. That's going to spread inland. So New Orleans, Biloxi, Mississippi, Gulfport, Mobile, Alabama, widespread power outages are likely through this evening. So we're going to continue to monitor this situation, but it looks like we're seeing this Category 4 landfalling now, and it's going to get very much worse very quickly. The track takes it basically to the north through Mississippi and then on to the northeast, weakening as it does so, but this is a strong system, and it's going to be accelerating off to the northeast a little bit, so it's going to be dragging strong winds in with it. Just one mention here, we do have a new tropical depression out in the Atlantic moving to the northwest at 14. It'll miss the Antilles, but there's another low pressure system behind it we're going to be monitoring as well. So after this system, we've got 2 others to watch out for. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you. Dr. Steve Lyons, our hurricane expert, with an update on Katrina. And of course, as Steve mentioned, the eye still well offshore, but even so, we've already seen hurricane force wind gusts even in some of the inland areas.
As a matter of fact, Grand Isle had a wind gust of 102 miles per hour. Biloxi 51, Gulfport a gust of 48, and Lakefront here in New Orleans a wind gust over to hurricane force strength up to 74, 75 miles per hour. And we'll continue to give you the live coverage here of Hurricane Katrina with live reports coming up here at the top of the hour. And just a reminder, there is a tornado watch in effect until noon. This does include New Orleans and a couple of tornado warnings over here in Mobile, Alabama. You folks should be seeking shelter immediately.
We'll keep you updated on Katrina with more, of course, from the field with live reports. That's coming up all morning long here on the Weather Channel as we continue in Storm Alert.
Stick around. Your local on the 8th is coming up, then more on Hurricane Katrina. Stick around.
Somewhere between where you are and where you're going, there's a Super 8. See you along the way.
Super 8. See you along the way. This Golf Index was brought to you by Kelly Services.
Tank of gas, $36. Being there when he changes his mind about joining the circus, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
This is a great house.
Yeah? Excuse me. You should see the bathroom.
I was upside down. Me too.
I'm State Farm Agent Edmund Nelson, and this is a true story.
Mommy broke the car.
Thankfully, only the car broke. They were buckled in right.
We've shown her how at a State Farm Child Safety Day.
Saved their lives.
By educating parents, conducting research, and helping to pass stronger safety laws, we've doubled the proper use of safety restraints and saved the lives of kids.
Like mine.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
We're continuing to watch not only Katrina, but weather elsewhere around the nation at this hour.
And let's go ahead and show you the forecast for today.
Lots of sunshine here from Minneapolis into Chicago. We will see lots of sunshine toward the west too, but into the north it's going to be some scattered thunderstorms. And out of this, we might even see some heavy rain this afternoon around Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, a few isolated thunderstorms. But the real impact is going to be here southward with the rain and with the wind.
And in the west, we'll see sunshine here in the southwest, while the northwest will see some storms coming into Seattle and Portland.
Jen Carfagno, our travel analyst, keeping a close eye on the effects of Katrina and elsewhere this morning.
And Jen, again, the eastern side of that eye wall, we're talking about some pretty big waves coming into Pensacola Beach.
In Pensacola, the wind there now gusting to about 30 miles an hour. Certainly could feel tropical storm force conditions with gusts higher than that here in Pensacola. You're under a tropical storm warning. Travel not recommended here. Meridian, Mississippi, expecting the heavy rain, the gusty winds, and there is a flood watch in Tupelo.
All right, thanks, Jen. We're going to have live reports in the field coming up at the top of the hour. Stick around.
Keep it here on the Weather Channel.
I got the fresh house in my hands. 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 With Fresh Step Cat Litter, when your cat steps, odors are neutralized and your house is fresher. I got the fresh house in my hands. Fresh Step and Fresh Step Plus dual action crystals controls odors and keeps your whole house fresher.
Science teacher, and last year she let us dissect a frog. Cool. I get a rabbit in
Let's
my
go,
homeroom.
kids.
That's so cool. I get a
Chris.
more recess, go on 5.
Ready for school? Good thing Walmart's got all the coolest clothes for back to school at their always low prices. So you can get your kids off to the right start.
Hey! Oh, come on!
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station or newspaper.
The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
High winds batter signs and trees in the New Orleans suburbs as the strength of Katrina makes its move into the Gulf Coast.
Hey, good morning from Gulfport, Mississippi here, where we continue to see the winds pick up. We've even been under a tornado warning at times. You can see the winds definitely blowing these oak leaves around. A few branches down, but we still got power right now. We'll give you a live report here coming up from Gulfport.
Hey, good morning, Jim. We still got power here in Mobile, Alabama as the wind and rain picks up ahead of Hurricane Katrina.
And huge lines of people attempt to seek shelter in the New Orleans Superdome. These are the ones who could not manage to leave a city that could be flooded by the approaching hurricane. And good morning, everyone. I think it's more of a reality now about the flooding. We have some reports south of the tidal lakes of 3 to 10 inches of rainfall. That's been unconfirmed, but it's Doppler estimates.
And obviously more still yet to fall, a lot more. The Weather Channel is in storm alert for the latest on a hurricane of historic proportions.
Let's go ahead and give you now the latest advisory where we have right now the winds of 150 miles per hour around the center, and hurricane force winds extending out over 100 miles. Tropical storm force winds over 200 miles from the center. It's moving north at 15, so it's picked up in forward speed. The pressure is 917 millibars. Again, that northern eye wall now coming ashore.
Now, we're of course watching the progress of this, and the projected path does take it northward. There's going to be a lot more rain out of this, so flooding is going to be a problem throughout the day and into tonight, all the way up into Mississippi, Tennessee, and eventually into the Ohio Valley.
And Grand Island, we just got a report 114 mile per hour winds now with that eye wall.
Obviously, we are into what will be the crunch period for the Gulf region.
That's right. Now we have live team coverage as Hurricane Katrina batters the Gulf. Meteorologist Jim Cantore is in Gulfport, Mississippi, and meteorologist Mike Seidel is live in Mobile, Alabama.
Now, Jim, how bad are the conditions where you are right now?
Well, Nick, I'm going to say winds right now are easily gusting over 40 miles an hour. I'm just going to have my cameraman pan around. You can kind of see off a little away from where we are near the building here, perhaps a little protected. But certainly, you know, occasionally a little branch will just kind of fly across the parking lot. We'll see a little blue flash off in the distance. So power outages definitely a possibility here. The winds are, I mean, just torrential rains. You guys have been mentioning the rainfall this morning. It is just pounding rain here right now. I mean, just a complete dump of rain. We did have a gentleman go down and shoot some video for us this morning, and he said he didn't get close to the water, so we can't tell if the water's coming up at this point, but I would imagine it is, obviously, because we're going to be on the right side of that hurricane. All right, we're going to be on the worst side of that, so we are going to get a surge component in through here. And folks, you know what? Just because it's not 175 or 160, it's still 150 miles an hour. Okay, that's the hurricane we're dealing with here. This is a tremendously strong hurricane here, and we have not dealt, I want to let everybody know this, a fraction of this hurricane. There will be a time this morning where we will not be able to broadcast, all right? And obviously when that time comes, you're going to know about it because we won't be on the air anymore. But we will let you know what's going on out here, hopefully by phone, as long as we can. But right now, obviously, we're not doing too bad. But occasionally, we will see a gust come along, perhaps even greater than 40 miles an hour. Certainly, we anticipate that to be in a big, big hurry before the afternoon or the morning is out. So this thing's going to come in, looks like during the daylight hours, guys. And hopefully we can show you the pictures of just how incredible a Category 4 hurricane is. But more than likely, when it gets that bad, we won't be able to do that. Let's head off toward the east. Mike Seidel is in Mobile. Mike, you dealt with some bands last night, heavy rain, even some tornado warnings for that area. How are things going in Mobile this morning?
Hey, Jim, good morning. We've got a tornado warning right now. The next county over to our east, that's Baldwin County, one of the two coastal counties, Baldwin and Mobile. Baldwin under a tornado warning until 15 after the hour, about another 10 minutes. And here in Mobile County, we're under a flash flood warning until 8 o'clock this morning. Already Doppler estimates of 2 to 3 inches of rain. It's raining moderately hard right now, and the wind's running about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Our peak gust so far is up there at 45, 46 miles an hour between the airport here and the airport downtown. We are safe from any surge issues. We're well away from the Mobile River and Mobile Bay. But again, we are far from the worst of the storm. Our power flickered a few minutes ago. It's still on. We'll see how long that lasts. And obviously, the weather is going to go downhill all across southern Alabama and the western Florida Panhandle over the next 6-7 hours. Kim and Nick, We'll hunker down and, as Jim said, try to broadcast as long as possible.
And Mike, we want to let you know, too, we just got word that northern Mobile County now under a tornado warning, so be careful, okay? All right, we'll check back with you.
Okay, that's just north of here.
All right, let's go ahead and show you what it looks like on satellite, where that northern eye wall coming in, and there's Grand Isle. That's sustained winds of 61 miles per hour, again with the wind gusts 114, 115 miles per hour. The east side, again, is where we're going to see the most damage from this. Here it is on radar, and you can see where the heavy rain, where you see the oranges and yellows. And again, some reports south of New Orleans around the tidal lakes of 3 to 10 inches of rainfall already. As a matter of fact, at lakefront, we had over an inch and a half almost in an hour here. So flooding a huge concern with this, and of course that threat will be even farther north. Now there's that tornado watch in effect till noon, and here it is by this evening, causing all kinds of problems here into Mississippi. Nick?
And our continuing coverage of Hurricane Katrina does continue all morning long here on the Weather Channel as we remain in storm alert.
I'm Jeff Morrow in Covington, Louisiana. Yeah, we're starting to feel the effects of Katrina for sure. Power flashes on the horizon. We've lost power in this area. We'll give you a live update here in just a moment, talk about the driving rain and how bad we think it's going to get. Stay tuned here to the Weather Channel.
Did you know Honda makes portable generators? Well, they do, and they're perfect for camping, working anywhere you need, for all kinds of RV comforts like air conditioning, or for emergency backup. Lightweight and quiet, Honda's got a generator that's right for you. See this EU 2000? Two of them provided enough power to film this entire commercial. Honda, the power of choice. Call us for the dealer nearest you or shop online now at honda.com.
Now you can shop online at gen.honda.com. Honda generators are available at a dealer near you.
The Kia Amante. Rich leather. 9-speaker CD sound system. Power everything. Spacious and comfortable. With 8 standard airbags and all backed by a 10-year warranty program. The Kia Amante Premium Sedan. It's time for everyone to start living big.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
very latest on very powerful Hurricane Katrina. Winds right now 150 miles per hour around the center. It is moving north now and has picked up in forward speed to 15 miles per hour. The pressure has come up through the morning, 917 millibars, but again, don't let your guard down. Andrew came through South Florida with a pressure of 922 millibars.
Yeah, Katrina has weakened slightly overnight to a very strong Category 4 hurricane, but just a very small difference between this strong Category 4 and a Category 5. Landfall is imminent in southeastern Louisiana. The impacts will spread north ahead of the center. We've already seen hurricane-force wind gusts and heavy downpours of rain.
And earlier we've had reports from Mike Seidel and Jim Cantore, but now Jeff Morrow is joining us from Covington, Louisiana.
And Jeff, how are things holding up there where you are?
Well, the wind's been, it's been fairly steady. I wouldn't call it tropical storm force, maybe a few gusts up to about 40 miles an hour or so, 30 to 40 miles an hour. So we really haven't seen much in the way of any debris flying, but obviously as this hurricane continues to move north and continues to come inland and pass us, and we think that will probably, the eye of the hurricane right now will probably go by just to our east. We'll be on the western eye wall. Things will get obviously a lot worse with a very strong northerly wind. That kind of northerly wind is just going to blow right across Lake Pontchartrain. Right now the winds with a hurricane are pushing generally from the east, and that is piling water from the Gulf of Mexico into Lake Pontchartrain. You can see these spiral bands of moisture, and you can just imagine the wind kind of spiraling around the hurricane as well. Very heavy downpours. We've had some pretty steady, I'd call it moderate rain here so far, kind of blowing sideways in these gusts. But again, as the hurricane passes and the wind turns to the north, that's when Pontchartrain could get blown to the south and, well, maybe impact the levee system there. Let's hope it doesn't breach it and push that water down into the New Orleans area. That's what people there are most concerned about, of course. New Orleans had a very rough night last night. We've lost power here. In some areas, our hotel, we got up, it was still on, but as soon as we walked into the lobby, out went the lights, and that's probably going to be it for the rest of the afternoon. As we got here, we've seen power flashes, the transformers popping. You see that little blue glow, and then it kind of fades away, and you know more power is gone. So obviously in these kind of winds, we're already seeing that it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to be a while before we get power, and we got a lot of trees around us here. You'll be able to see that when the sun comes up, and that's something we're going to have to watch out for very closely as well. Again, we're in Covington. We're right along Interstate 12. We're north of Lake Pontchartrain, and we'll keep you updated here as we head on through the rest of the afternoon as long as we can physically keep the shot up. Because obviously when it gets bad, we may have to come down. Let's get back to you guys now. Kim and Nick.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And you know, we're concerned about folks even farther north with power outages today.
No doubt about that. There have been, of course, road closures due to heavy rain falling and evacuation procedures. Some roads remain open, though, at this hour.
And if folks might be interested in I-10, of course, I-10 westbound at the Louisiana state line is closed and no one should be traveling there.
Right.
But I-10, the bridge over the Escambia Bay around Pensacola, checked on that, and it is still open. Last night traffic was very heavy with folks heading eastbound. This morning, as you make your way out there, we are dealing with tropical storm force wind gusts, and we are also dealing with some rain bands coming through that region. I want to take you to the airports and show you what we have in terms of airport closures. Both airports in New Orleans, the International and the Lakefront, are closed. There is no reopen time set as of yet. Gulfport, Biloxi closed. Mobile airports there closed as well. Travelers, let's get a look at conditions throughout the region. Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Nashville, all airports we need to watch for as conditions go downhill. In Nashville, especially as we go through the day into tomorrow. And showing you right now what we have going on SkyTracker radar in terms of the extent of where we're seeing the rainfall here. I want to show you I-10 and talk about the rain well to around Baton Rouge and well to the west of there, and then all the way to the east, heading over into the Pensacola area. Here's some rain bands stretching that far, and as far north as Jackson, where we are getting some showers, and I-20. And I-20 is going to be a tough go of it from Jackson over to Tuscaloosa and Birmingham today. All right, the forecast for today, I-55 and I-65, and in between the two, watching for the potential of flooding as we continue to watch the track of Katrina heading northward, the rain heading northward, and rainfall on the order of 2 to 3 inches in farther north areas, and then even farther south, we'll see 10 to 15 inches of rainfall. So flooding is a possibility. 2 to 3 inches per hour of flooding around Birmingham would cause some flash flooding. Kim and Nick, back to you.
Hurricane Katrina making landfall in southeastern Louisiana.
Just east of the Grand Isle area, where we've seen wind gusts up to 114 miles an hour. Waves obviously running high. Ahead, more on all the impacts.
This program was brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
This is not the time to plan. Plan for weather emergencies before they happen. Be on the safe side. Plan, prepare, protect. Visit weather.com/safeside. A message from the Weather Channel and Home Depot.
I'm an American West mortgage specialist. Whether your dream is to buy a home, refinance, or see the Rolling Stones, I'm here to help. Good. That's why we're sponsoring the Rolling Stones tour. For your chance to win tickets, go to AmeriQuest.com. AmeriQuest Mortgage, proud sponsor of the American dream.
Hurricane Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. We've got meteorologists live from the scene.
There are some vicious squalls rotating around the outer bands here, and they've even prompted some tornado warnings.
Weather experts and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next.
It's going to be rough wherever this system comes in.
Find the latest travel delays, updated maps, and projected paths on weather.com. In-depth 24/7 coverage and analysis from the Weather Channel. Hurricane Central.
The world's first opera band returns with an alluring new work that will capture your heart completely. Defy, the extraordinary new album from Amici Forever. 5 stunning voices, 1 landmark album, Defy, from Amici Forever. First opera band returns with the album that sets them apart. Defy, new from Amici Forever. $18.98 plus shipping and handling. To order, call now or log on and explore a one-of-a-kind music event.
Hurricane Katrina making landfall as we speak as a Category 4 hurricane with winds around the center of 150 miles per hour. Conditions going downhill here in New Orleans. We have reports south of town of 3 to 10 inches of rain. That's Doppler estimates, but flooding already occurring in the area. You're watching First Outlook, everyone. A historical time. This is the 4th strongest hurricane, the Atlantic Basin, now making landfall.
And its effects are going to be far-reaching, not just on the Gulf Coast, but farther toward the north, too. And that's what we want to emphasize here as we show you the 7-day forecast in the Business Planner. Look up and down the eastern United States, and you're going to see rainfall. Already this morning, we've seen some heavy rainfall around the central portions of Ohio and on into Maine, and with ground that's going to be saturated, no doubt we're going to see some flooding as the remnants of Katrina continue to push northward over the next couple of days. We're looking for 5 to 10 inches of rainfall here around the Gulf Coast all the way to the Tennessee Valley, and with classes just getting started here at many universities, we're going to find some of those second days of classes really inundated with rainfall here around, say, Middle Tennessee State University, northward up toward portions of Pennsylvania and into West Virginia too. So we'll be on the lookout for more heavy rainfall and even some scattered amounts of 15+ inches of rainfall. Scattered showers around portions of Montana and into the Seattle area today, and into tomorrow, I should say. But southward, lots of sunshine, lots of warm temperatures here, and it looks like the west coast is going to continue to bake underneath that sunshine on into midweek. We will see a better chance of a bit of rainfall here around portions of the northern plains, but the heavy rain continuing here from the Great Lakes on eastward, 4 to 8 inches from the Ohio Valley into the eastern Great Lakes for both Tuesday and Wednesday means that flooding could be a threat. It could be a life-threatening situation here over the next few days as more rainfall continues to come down from the remnants of Katrina. Thursday, a little bit less of an impact here around the northeast, and of course a lot less impact here around the south. The rain will be over, but the devastation, of course, that is certainly to occur with Katrina will go on. A lot of beach has already been eroded, will continue to be so. So beachgoers may have a tough time here for the foreseeable future, even though the dry weather and the sunshine will return. On into Friday we go, and as we head toward the weekend, we're looking at a lot more sunshine from coast to coast. It looks a lot better as far as the lack of rainfall. Just a few isolated thunderstorms in the Intermountain West. Could see some of that in western Washington as well, and a few scattered showers here around northern New England. Saturday's forecast brings more sunshine still, not only to some of the same areas that we'll find it here on into Friday, but even into New England as well. A few scattered showers into Florida and toward the northern plains and the mountain areas. Sunday's forecast looks equally as dry, and we're going to deserve this dry weather after several days of heavy rainfall here, particularly around the Great Lakes, around the Northeast, around the Mid-South, and the southern states. Let's check out the temperatures and what changes may occur here, Kim.
Well, we will see temperatures coming back up after we get rid of some of that rainfall from Katrina, and that's going to spread right through the Ohio Valley, as Nick talked about. Temperatures will be kept down into the 70s. Now, here along the Gulf Coast, of course, a lot of you heading back home will deal with temperatures in the 90s here in New Orleans as well along the Gulf Coast. Look at the 90s coming right back, and it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. Be prepared if you're coming home and there's some damage around your home that you're going to be there with temperatures and heat indices maybe the 90s up near 100 degrees. It's going to be very uncomfortable. 60s and 70s across the upper Midwest. Here in New York City and Boston, we're going to be in the 80s, it looks like, on Wednesday. And as you know, we get closer to the weekend. We're getting into September, and it's Labor Day weekend, too. A lot of you will be traveling maybe out of Chicago, where temperatures will be in the 80s. Heading up to Minneapolis, you'll be dealing with those temperatures into the 70s. How about some barbecues and picnics planned this weekend, or parades? We will see 80s across parts of the southeast. Those 90s, though, continue here along the Gulf Coast and here in the southwest. We cool down a little bit in Phoenix, maybe up around 100 degrees or so. And Sunday, it looks like 60s here in Seattle and in Portland.
The eye of Katrina making landfall right now just east of Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Of course, we've got the very latest on the storm's position and the impact, so keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Nice ride.
Thank you, Mocha Coca. Chrysler and Jeep came up on Buku Awards, and Dodge trucks last as long as the Deagle Double Chisel. Plus, I got the hookup, nephew, for sure.
You know, I'm not too sure of what you just said. Now everybody gets a great deal.
For shizzle, I could zizzle.
Get Employee Pricing Plus on remaining 2005 Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge models.
If the ride is more fly, then you must buy.
That's what I hear.
You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Today, you're a super painter with the Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller. One touch, and you control a continuous flow of paint. The innovative Power Roller. One of the ways Wagner gives you more power, because there's always something that needs painting. Wagner. Paint fast. Paint smart.
The Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller. Professional results fast.
People ask me all kinds of questions.
Hey, who goes there?
Orkin Man, reporting for termite inspection.
Termites? Do termites really eat wood?
A colony eats 24 hours a day.
We're doomed!
Not on my watch. At Orkin, knowledge is our best weapon. People ask me all kinds of questions.
Think it will help drive the bugs away?
Most insects don't have ears.
Lucky them!
What?
Lucky them!
At Orkin, knowledge is our best weapon. What?
What can the herd teach us about corporate and investment banking? The lead position must be earned. investment banking. Wachovia Securities. Talk to us.
Somewhere between where you are and where you're going, there's a Super 8. See you along the way.
Hurricane Katrina, a Category 4 hurricane, making landfall here in southeastern Louisiana as we speak. Now, just to the east of Grand Isle, Louisiana, while Grand Isle had a wind gust of 114 miles per hour, east of there, it is even worse.
85-mile-an-hour winds in New Orleans right now, and still the eye is a long way away from New Orleans. We're watching those wind gusts up to tropical storm force all the way to Gulfport and Biloxi. We are in storm alert here at the Weather Channel as we follow the progress of this very historic hurricane.
That's right. Jen Carfagno is here to talk about inland effects a little bit. Hey, Jen.
The effects really are going to be much farther inland and farther north as the system continues on its northbound track. And so today we're going to watch the weather going downhill in Jackson, Mississippi. Already winds gusting to 17 miles an hour, and they will go up from there. Birmingham and points in between Jackson and Birmingham and southward looking for the potential of flooding. Atlanta watching for rain and some wind, and the rain could be heavy at times.
All right, thanks, Jen. We have live reports coming up at the top of the hour with Jim Cantore, Jeff Morrow, Mike Seidel. We hope you join us then.
Keep it right here on the Weather Channel as our coverage of Katrina continues.
You see him in your rearview mirror, and suddenly you're the world's best driver. You hit the brakes, hang up the cell phone, use your turn signal. Sound familiar? Allstate knows there's a good driver in each of us. A police car shouldn't be the only thing that brings it out. So Allstate cuts safe drivers a break, up to 20%. Reward works better than punishment. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
You know, I think I'd marry you again. All these people as witnesses?
Yeah, right. Mom? Dad?
Lisa, will you marry me? Again.
This anniversary, tell her I forever do.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
of water are already washing over parking lots in the greater New Orleans area. Some of the first signs of the approach of Hurricane Katrina.
And I'm Jeff Morrow in Covington, Louisiana. Again, the effects of this hurricane just starting to be felt here. We've got a driving rain and some pretty gusty wind, and power is out. I'll have a live report in just a moment.
And Jeff, ditto that here at Gulfport, Mississippi, where we continue to see power flashes off in the distance. Those are the transformers blowing, and no question the rain continues to come down here. Pounding rain. Right now it's coming down straight, but it will not be for long. It'll come down horizontal as these winds pick up. We'll give you a live report coming up.
And welcome back, everyone. We are in storm alert here at the Weather Channel. I'm Kim Perez.
And I'm Nick Walker. As Hurricane Katrina has made landfall now on the southern Louisiana coast, just east of Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Let's go ahead and give you the particulars here. The winds right now 150 miles per hour around the center. This is a Category 4 hurricane. Now, yesterday it was a Category 5 hurricane, but you know what? There's not much that much difference between a Cat 5 and a very strong Cat 4. So don't let your guard down. Right now the pressure is at 917. I believe we got a recon of 918 millibars, so it continues to weaken some, and it's moving north.
And the path will continue here to bring heavy rain and possibly damaging winds even into portions of Mississippi, Alabama, and then over the course of Tuesday and Wednesday we'll see more flooding rain from the Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley. We are into what will literally be the crunch period for the Gulf region. We have our live team coverage here at Hurricane Central as Hurricane Katrina batters the Gulf. Meteorologist Jeff Morrow is live in Covington, Louisiana, just outside of New Orleans. Meteorologist Jim Cantore is in Gulfport, Mississippi, and meteorologist Mike Seidel is live in Mobile, Alabama. Let's start with you, Jeff, and we understand that you've lost power in your area now?
Oh yeah, when we woke up this morning at the hotel early, the power was still on, and we thought, hey, well, maybe it'll stay on for a while, and this won't be so bad. You no sooner form that thought, out go the lights, literally, and it blackened there quickly. The wind's getting pretty feisty here now. We've had some pretty strong gusts, and I just want to remind everybody, again, if you're waking up right now, you're just tuning in here in Louisiana, we're waking up to a Category 4 hurricane, but it is just a category, just below Category 5. You may say, okay, it's weakened, and it has, and that's great news, but this is still one heck of a hurricane, and the pressure is still lower than Andrew was when it came ashore, and we all know what Andrew did. So again, there's going to be a lot of damage and a lot of problems from this. Now, the scenes that you're seeing here are from Kenner, Louisiana. This is not too far away from New Orleans, up along the southern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. Again, you can see some of the waves from the lake pounding up against the shoreline here. That's going to go on for most of the day. That's what they're really worried about as we head on down along the southern shoreline there of Lake Pontchartrain, whether those levees will be topped and how strong the winds are going to be, and will that water get into New Orleans and cause the massive flooding that we're so concerned about. Now, here farther on to the north, we're on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, and again, we're probably more worried about a lot of trees and power lines flying around. Again, we have seen transformer blue flashes out on the horizon, and that's an indication again that the powers are going out in many areas, and that's going to be, it's just going to be out now for the rest of the day and maybe for a while. We'll keep you updated from here. Again, much more to come. Let's go to Jim Cantore. He's farther east in Gulfport in Mississippi. And Jim, you're going to be dealing with this all day, just like me.
Yeah, Jeff, like you, though, I think it's kind of amazing, how similar our conditions are, too. We've had the same thing, the heavy rain, we continue to get that. We've had the sporadic power outages, and actually we're lucky the power's come back on here, at least temporarily, so that's a good thing. I'm sure it won't stay on, especially given the power of this hurricane. But believe me, folks, we are just touching a very mere fraction of what we are going to deal with this hurricane. 150 miles an hour, all right? We're not even near that core yet, and as that comes rolling up past the mouth of the Mississippi River, and in the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It's going to get a lot worse here as we go on in time. I mean, think about all those beautiful casinos on the coastline. I mean, they're going to deal with the water. We haven't even dealt with the surge component of this yet. We feel pretty safe here. We're at the Armed Forces Retirement Home in Gulfport, Mississippi. This place is built like Fort Knox, and we're very, very happy to be here. We're honored to be here, obviously, and they are sitting at 27 feet above sea level. Let me show you some pictures here of that we've taken around the parking lot here. A pretty big area, and you can see the wind-whipped rain, the horizontal rain that's come on in. And yeah, it's kind of an eerie feeling when you see it kind of bouncing off the cars like that and going by the street lights. The good news is the street lights are still standing. With 150-mile-an-hour winds, we could easily see those street lights come over. We are going to see large trees down, large trees down. We hope we can bring you these kind of pictures for a long time this morning. Obviously not the ones where the trees are down and the poles are down, but the ones where everything's looking pretty good. But right now we are anticipating a lot of problems here with this, especially with the wind damage later on and the storm surge. We're going to deal with this storm, it looks like, during the daylight hours. So as long as we can bring you the pictures, we'll show you the power of these bands as they come on in. Let's go over toward Mobile, Alabama this morning. Mike, Jeff talked about the action he's having with the rain. We've seen it here, the heavy rain. What about in Mobile? Are you getting rain just as hard?
Yeah, we're getting rain right now, and we're still getting some wind gust up here above 40 miles an hour. Peak gust is just below 50 at this point. Take a look at how the wind is whipping this rain. Jim talked about it coming down vertically where he is, not for long, but here we've got the horizontal sheets of rain here along Interstate 65. And as far as power goes, our power is still on. We do have a flash flood warning for all of Mobile County until at least 8 o'clock this morning. Doppler estimate so far 2 to 3 inches, and we'll have storm totals up between 5 and 10 inches. Forecast today again, hurricane conditions setting in during the morning hours, continuing this afternoon. Temperatures up there at 84, and we'll have wind gusts in excess of hurricane force. Tomorrow, a much better day. Maybe a leftover morning shower, but southwest winds behind Katrina, gusting as high as 30 to 35 miles an hour at times. Tomorrow's side back up to the typical late August 90 here across the southern Alabama coast. Kim?
All right, thanks, Mike. We're going to check back with you later on. And of course, we're concerned with this area too for the potential of tornadoes. That area under a tornado watch. Now here it is making landfall. It's in the process of making landfall. Now you can see that northern eye wall coming in to that one little part, the little peninsula part of southeastern Louisiana. Grand Isle off to the west with sustained winds of 61 miles per hour. And we've had reports of 114-mile-per-hour wind gusts in that location. Again, a lot of rain, especially on that east side. Again, that's where our folks are stationed there this morning. So we're going to be watching them real carefully. And folks in New Orleans around Lakefront, we've had wind gusts over hurricane force already. And south of town around the tidal lakes, we've had reports, Doppler estimates of 3 to 10 inches of rain already. And as I mentioned, of course, tornadoes a potential here with that watch in effect till noon. Now, we are concerned later as it moves inland. Folks in Mississippi, central Mississippi, this is going to impact you guys, and we could see power outages pretty likely here as that hurricane moves northward, accelerating as it does. So be prepared for power outages and, of course, for flooding as we've been talking about all morning long. Nick?
Well, for more than a day and a half, the big concern has been getting out of the path of the storm. We trust you are out of harm's way this morning. Cars crawled as residents from New Orleans to Mobile hit the road. Some are still closed. We'll update you next.
This program was brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, it wasn't until Hurricane Charlie was over the real danger began.
I'm State Farm Agent Dan Mann, and this is a true story.
I'm a diabetic, and so when the power goes out, that's real bad.
His insulin had to stay cold.
He brought me ice.
Plus a check for emergency living expenses.
Before my neighbor even heard from his insurance company. And with all the thousands of people that needed help down here, I felt like they're only one.
When you need someone most, nobody takes care of you like State Farm.
We'd love to prove it to you. Call an agent today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is not the time to plan. Plan for weather emergencies before they happen. Be on the safe side. Plan, prepare, protect. Visit weather.com/safeside. A message from the Weather Channel and Home Depot.
You can't always go out to send money, but you can always go to westernunion.com or dial 1-800-CALL-CASH. For every story, Western Union. When you need to send someone money in a hurry, Western Union offers you the Gold Card Rewards program. It quickly pulls your information, saving you time and paperwork.
Your brother Scotty.
For every story, Western Union.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, you're local on the 8s.
Hurricane Katrina, a strong Category 4 hurricane, making landfall as we speak. Again, it will continue to weaken slightly as it continues to make landfall, but it is still a very intense and dangerous hurricane. We want folks not to let their guard down. Landfall is imminent, as mentioned, but impacts are going to be felt even farther north than the Gulf Coast.
They really are. We're going to find ourselves from the Ohio Valley to the Great Lakes with 4 to 8 inches of rain. Cincinnati, heavy rains and strong winds are possible into tomorrow. We'll also be watching areas around Cleveland for heavy rain and strong winds. Some areas from the Gulf Coast to the Tennessee Valley could get 5 to 10 inches, maybe locally heavier amounts to 15. Pittsburgh, not that much rain, but still heavy rain and strong winds possible on into Wednesday.
And Jen Carfagno, our travel analyst, joining us now. And of course, folks are concerned about traveling today, Jen.
Yeah. And we've been talking about the area in southeastern Louisiana, coastal Mississippi, and Alabama, but the effects are going to be inland, as you've been talking about. And I checked the airlines. It looks like they are not allowing changes without fees to some of the inland airports like Atlanta and Birmingham and Nashville. But I would call your airline. You know, they don't want you to be stranded anymore than you want to be. And so if you're traveling today, keep tabs on your flights. There will be delays and cancellations as we head through the day at other airports. I want to run down the list of the closures. New Orleans, both airports there, International and Lakefront, closed. Gulfport Biloxi Airport is closed. The Mobile Airport is closed. And the Pensacola Airport closed as well. Okay, today in Louisville, we'll expect some delays and cancellations. This will be late. You should get through most of the day without a lot of problems here. Memphis, it's going to be possible cancellations, but delays will be likely. The winds will be gusty. We will see some rain bands here. And in Atlanta, same story. So watching for delays likely. There may be a few cancellations. We've been dealing with record air travel this summer. The planes are running full. And so if there are cancellations, that certainly will cause an impact for folks trying to get where they need to go. Let's show you what we have going on right now. I want to take you to the Gulf Coast. We're looking here, New Orleans, just off to the edge of the screen. And we'll take you along Interstate 10 to show you where we have the heaviest of rainfall. New Orleans, flash flood warning. We also have flash flood warning morning here around the Mobile area. The rain coming down steadily and heavily. New Orleans now wind gusts here to 85 miles an hour. The wind is gusting to 50 miles an hour in Biloxi, and in Pensacola the wind gusting to 30 miles an hour. And the gusty winds do extend farther north along, say, Interstate 59 and 55. As you make your way northward, we're getting gusty winds this morning. I'll show you the forecast, and the forecast we're going to keep tabs on today is these interstates 55 and 59 and 65 and in between for the rainfall to be a concern on the roads. We will see some flooding today. It's potentially here for us into southwestern Alabama, into central and southern Mississippi. Tough travel for folks here as we head through the afternoon. Get what you need to done it now around Jackson and say around Meridian as well. All right, let's talk about the other roads in the area. If you're traveling on Interstate 40 this morning, no major problems. But later on today, and especially tonight into tomorrow, we're looking at the showers and the rain and the windy conditions heading in this area. So I-40 right into Tennessee. Kim and Nick.
Thank you, Jen. Continuing coverage throughout the morning here of Hurricane Katrina.
We'll have live reports coming up at the top of the hour. Dr. Steve Lyons also joining us for the tropical update. You don't want to miss this. Stick around.
This program was brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
The Kia Amante. Rich leather, 9-speaker CD sound system, power everything. Spacious and comfortable. With 8 standard airbags and all backed by a 10-year warranty program. The Kia Amante Premium Sedan. It's time for everyone to start living big.
Hurricane Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. We've got meteorologists live from the scene.
There are some vicious squalls rotating around the outer bands here, and they've even prompted some tornado warnings.
Weather experts and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next.
It's going to be rough wherever this system comes in.
Find the latest travel delays, updated maps, and projected paths on weather.com. In-depth 24/7 coverage and analysis from the Weather Channel. Hurricane Central.
This is Bob. Bob is doing well. Very well indeed. That's because not long ago, with just a quick phone call, Bob realized that he could have something better in his life. And what did he get? Why, a big boost of confidence, a little more self-esteem, and a very happy missus at home. Call or go online now to get a free sample pack. Enzyte, the once daily tablet for natural male enhancement. This is Bob. Bob is looking cool. And with a call to Enzyte about natural male enhancement, Bob is living large. In a few short weeks, Bob has a big new spring of confidence. A generous swelling of pride. And the one thing every man deserves, a little well-earned respect from the neighborhood. Call or go online now to get a free sample pack of Enzyte. Enzyte, the once daily tablet for natural male enhancement.
History in the making this morning as Hurricane Katrina is making landfall on the coast of Louisiana.
And Dr. Steve Lyons, our hurricane expert, is on board now to talk about its impacts this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Morning, Kim, and we're looking at a landfall in southeastern Louisiana. Almost, not quite. The eye wall is over extreme southeastern Louisiana near Port Sulphur and Venice. The eye is still just offshore right there. You see it. It's going to come onshore within about 15 or 20 minutes, maybe a half hour or so. Now here's New Orleans here. We expect the eye to move to the east of New Orleans. The closest approach to the northwestern portion of the eye wall will be about 3 hours from now. This is about 60 60 miles. The northern eye wall here is about 45 miles from New Orleans, and it's moving at 15 miles per hour. So about 3 hours, you're going to get your worst conditions, and the strongest winds will probably be in southeastern Louisiana. You're going to be closest to the eye wall there. That's the time when the surge potential is probably going to be the highest as well, and when your winds are going to be the best and the strongest, and the damage is going to be the greatest. Now, the system is going to move continually to the north. In about 4 to 6 hours is going to be the worst conditions up in Mississippi, and that's when these eastern portion of the eye wall is going to come slamming into the coastline. Now, right now we have some conditions along the coast that indicate that the surge is already 8 feet at Waveland, Mississippi. That's the highest report we have right now, a surge of 8 feet, and it's nowhere near the eye wall, so we expect that to really increase as that comes up over the next 3 to 5 hours. So don't stay in the low-lying areas very long. If you're already down there, you know it's very bad. Now, we have a storm total precipitation you can see here already exceeding 6 inches in southeastern Louisiana, and so we're going to expect that to encroach on New Orleans, and the potential for flooding along the coastline and inland is going to increase the next 2 to 3 hours. We could see street flooding in New Orleans. The pumps are probably running to try to keep that water off the streets, but the water's going to rise because the rainfall rates are probably 2 to 3 inches per hour there. Notice also there's a rather wide swath of rain over Florida and heading into Georgia, so the overall larger circulation is producing rain well away from the center, the core of circulation. Now, here's our projected water rises associated with the surge. We've already seen 8 feet there, and it's nowhere near the eye wall. 16 to 22 feet locally where that eye wall comes on shore, and it looks like it may be that coastal Mississippi may get the worst surge of all because the eye is going to be to the east of New Orleans. We'll have to see if any of that water tops the levee system. It's too early to tell that yet, but the center of circulation will move to the east of downtown New Orleans. In the meantime, surge will spread off to the east a little bit as well because the circulation is large. Then over here we have large waves that have been producing 2 to 3 foot water rises along the coast as well. So that's going to continue, and that will rise as the system makes landfall and the southerly winds come in. The wave action will come up to 25 to 35 feet along the extreme eastern portions of the Florida Panhandle, western portions of Florida Panhandle, eastern portions of the Alabama coastline, and a little bit lower, a little bit farther to the east in the Panhandle. So these are the highest waves out here. These waves are breaking well offshore here. These are going to be on the beach and causing significant beach erosion the next 12 hours. Now, as the system moves inland, the greatest impact for direct impact to structures, trees falling down, power out, lines falling down, roofs blowing off of buildings, is going to be in this red area here that includes southeastern Louisiana primarily, including the New Orleans area, and that's primarily southeastern portions of New Orleans. Gulfport, Biloxi is also in that, and of course down here in extreme southern Louisiana, they're going to get probably the worst condition of all. As the system moves to the north, it may weaken slightly, but it's still a very strong Category 4 hurricane, and those strong winds are going to spread inland over the next 24 hours. We could have some significant direct structure damage well inland into Louisiana, Mississippi, and portions of Alabama as well. Power outages, we've already seen a large number of those power outages. Those are going to extend inland, and those outages are going to be severe. You're not going to get your power outages back very quickly. So hunker down, the worst is yet to come. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Dr. Steve Lyons, our hurricane expert.
We continue our coverage of Hurricane Katrina with hurricane force wind gusts now into southern Louisiana.
This program was brought to you by the UPS Store, the place for help and a whole lot more.
Whether you're running a busy household or a small business, chances are you have a lot going on. Well, there's one place that can help you handle it all.
Don't you worry about a thing.
The UPS Store. If you need help with packing and shipping, need someone to print, collate, and bind a presentation for your small business, or a mailbox where someone can sign for your packages, let the UPS Store worry about it. That's our thing.
Don't you worry about a thing.
The UPS Store, the place for packing, shipping, and a whole lot more.
I got customers coming in from 4 corners of the world. To them, this is the bank of US of A. But these are self-made individuals in this neighborhood. We understand that and what that means. They have saved sizable amounts of money that they entrust to us, and they come to us every day for financial advice. Some of these businesses are third generation. Most of them definitely second generation. As any merchant or shop owner, the first bank that would pop up would be Bank of America. I'm Hutchins Hung. I'm a banker, and I'm proud to be part of Bank of America. We're not too big of a bank, even to the smallest business. We still offer them the most sophisticated banking there is in this world. We're proud to be the cornerstone of the neighborhood. So when the neighborhood succeeds, Bank of America succeeds. I always have my breakfast here. Try the rice cake. It's the best in the city. Bank of America. Higher standards.
There's a certain team in Senior Division B, the Exiles. They're young, fast, and undefeated. On Sunday, they will lose because we've taped all their plays. We've downloaded all their games. We've even trained with obscure Brazilian drill software. It's our heads versus their feet. And this time, we'll win.
Start something victorious. Start anything you like with a world of software and devices that run on Windows.
Hurricane Katrina weakening only slightly as it makes landfall in southern Louisiana this morning.
The latest now winds 145 miles per hour around the center, but a tornado watch continues to be in effect until noon, and we do have several tornado warnings out. Here in Louisiana, we have Plaquemines Parish as well as St. Bernard Parish under tornado warnings, and Mobile continues to be under a tornado warning as well. Where you see the green, those are flash flood warnings, and again, some areas of Louisiana seeing already 6 to 10 inches of rain.
Jen Carfagno, our travel analyst, keeping a close eye on your travels through this mess this morning.
Flash flood warning still for New Orleans and Mobile. Folks are not getting out on the roads there today. We want folks to stay inside. And as travelers continue there and into Hattiesburg, Mississippi, we'll watch the weather continue to go downhill as well through the day.
All right, thanks, Jen. We'll continue our live coverage here on Hurricane Katrina. Again, weakening now, winds 145 miles per hour around the center.
Stay with us here on the Weather Channel as we continue to bring you live reports from the Gulf Coast this morning.
Hello, Farmers Help Point. How can I help you?
Hi, listen, I just got rear-ended by some yahoo.
Are you okay?
Well, I'm fine. My car's a little busted up, though.
No problem. We'll take care of it.
How fast can Farmers Help Point service get your car fixed after an accident? Well, you get the idea. Help Point is free with your policy. To find an agent near you, call 1-800-FARMERS.
I got the fresh house in my hands. I got the fresh house in my hands. With fresh step cat litter, when your cat steps, odors are neutralized and your house is fresher. I got the fresh house in my hands.
You've already achieved the American dream. But are there any more dreams in the family? Then call or log on to Ditech.com. The lender fee is just $395. Ditech.com. We give credit to your dreams.
Katrina bears down on the Mississippi Delta. Stay with us for the latest in-depth analysis, live reports from the field, weather experts, meteorologists, and hurricane hunters telling you what's happening, why it's happening, and what's next. The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station.
The Weather Channel, Hurricane Central. Coming up, the latest on Katrina. But now, your local on the 8s. continues here on the Weather Channel, Hurricane Central.
You're looking at wind and waves at Fort Walton Beach live as our Category 4 hurricane is making it onshore this morning in southern Louisiana.
And I'm Jeff Morrow. I'm to the north of Lake Pontchartrain here in Covington, Louisiana. Winds definitely gusting up to about tropical storm force. We've already had power out, and we've already had some tree limbs snapping off. I'll have a live report here in just a moment.
Here in southern Alabama, tornado warnings are coming out fast and furious. Right now, the wind is picking up as Katrina makes its move.
Well, good morning and welcome to our special storm alert coverage of Hurricane Katrina. I'm Heather Tesh.
And I'm Marshall Cease. Thanks for joining us this morning. Let's take a look at what the stats are on Katrina at this hour. First, we take you to the Pontchartrain Center in Kenner, Louisiana. You're feeling the effects of Katrina this morning.
You know, these scenes here are rough, but it's going to turn a lot rougher as we continue through the morning hours as things continue to intensify. We do have advisories up here for Katrina along the
line. This is the one that had some severe weather associated with it moving through parts of Maryland and West Virginia.